Right, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the most interactive math class online. This evening, we continue in statistics. We looked at the histogram, frequency, polygon. Now we are looking at grouped data. Grouped data. That just means that you're tallying everything in groups. So instead of um, you're looking at the numbers 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we say in this group or interval, in this group, it's called an interval. All right, so in this interval or group, we have 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. All right, so in that interval. The next interval is 40 to 44. All right, so our interval represents a group of your data. So let's write that. So your information is in groups. So this is your first group. It's called an interval. Second group, interval, and so on. So an interval is your group of data or information. Anybody lost? I don't think you're lost with that. All right. So that's the first word that we learned, interval. Now, each interval has a limit, how far you're going to go, where the group stops and where the groups begins and where the group ends. So your n values, that's called an limit. All right, so I'm just gonna wait 10 seconds so that everybody write down what an interval is, and I'm going to move on. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody got that? Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the limit, so you have a class interval and you have a class limit, which represent the um the values, the end values. These are called limits. The end values are called limits. So this has a limit. The lower limit is 35. The upper limit is 39. All right, so this is the next second word that you. So we looked at class interval. Now we're looking at a class limit. End values. of an interval. So you have interval 1. The end values would be this and this. So they are the limits. They are 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So we have the value, your end values for your numbers. They are called limits. All right, so you have another interval, and the interval has 45. So the limits, you have a lower limit, upper limit. So your class limit would be your end values. Anybody lost? So that's the second word that you learn. We're just going to do about 4
You
words.
can repeat it one more time, please.
Look, it's there. Look, I wrote it down there for you.
Mhm.
This is the end value of the interval. The end value of your interval. So you have you have for each group, which is called an interval, each group has a lower value and an upper value. The lower value is called a lower limit, and the higher value is called the upper limit. So you have lower and upper limits. End values. You will get accustomed to it as we do questions, right? These are things that you have to learn. But CXC like to bring it. They'll say for the, all right, let me give you an example. Let me question you all. So pay attention. How many intervals do we have? And that question first goes to Naomi. How many intervals do we have, Naomi? 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 Naomi Joseph? How many intervals do we have? How many intervals do we have?
5.
5 intervals. Very good. Next question to Yudaya. Yudaya, for interval 4, what is the upper limit? For interval 4, what is the upper limit?
54.
For interval 4, what is the upper limit?
54.
For interval 54, that's correct. So she said 54. The upper limit would be 54, and that's correct. She's right. All right, so let me just circle it with a yellow. 54. So interval 4, the upper limit is 54. All right. Next question. Johansi, for interval 2, what is the lower limit? For interval 2, what is the lower limit, Johansi?
40.
How much?
40.
40. Everybody agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Right. That's correct. So interval 2, the lower limit is 40. All right, cool. All right, so we looked at intervals and we looked at limits. Good. Next one. I want to look at boundaries, class boundaries. So let's go to the next page. Class boundary. Your class boundary will tell you how the exact value of how high or how low a limit, well, a class interval will go. So let's look at the intervals again. Just gonna write. So the first interval was 35 to 39. Next one, 40 to 44. No, that isn't what we were using all the time. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. 50. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 intervals. Now, how far can we go? How high can we go and how low? That is a boundary. Think about the C. So, for the first interval, you have 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. But if I tell you 34.9, is that approximately 35? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If I tell you 34.8, is that approximately 35?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What about 34.7?
Yes, sir.
34.6?
Yes, sir.
It's approximately 35. What about 34.5?
Yes, sir.
It's approximately right. So 5 or more. What about 34.4?
No, sir.
It's not. It's closer to 34. So our lowest boundary would be 34.5. All right. Our lower boundary is for this group is 34.5. And what about our highest boundary? So now this is recorded. I'm recording, so you could always go back. I would want you to go back. All right. So let's look. So we look at the lower boundary. Let's look at the upper boundary. So 39.1. Is that still 39?
Yes, sir.
Or 39.2?
Still 39.
Yes, sir.
39.3,
Yes, sir. 39.
39.4.
Still 39.
So 39. Now 39.5 is not 39, but we call it the upper boundary, but we do not include it. So if you look at the let's write the boundaries just as the book has it. We are looking at the lower boundary, which is 35.5. Starting there, we include in it, right? Less than and equal to, but we only put in less than. So this is 39.5. So these are called the boundaries. So the boundaries for the second interval would be 39.5. Now we include in it, right? And that is going to go up to 44.5, but we're not including. But this is still called the boundary. So you have a lower boundary and an upper boundary. All right, you have a lower boundary and you have your upper boundary. So let me ask somebody. Let me see if you're good. Let me see if I could do it. I'm going to ask Mikel.
Yes, sir.
What is for the third interval? What is the boundary? Third interval. Just give me the two numbers.
The third interval would be
Your lower boundary will be, well, for your third interval, what are your boundaries? 44 point?
44.5 and 49.5.
49.5. Correct. Correct. All right. Let's go Jenny. Jenny, for the 3, 4, the sixth interval, what is your lower boundary for the sixth? We'll start it off here. 59.
0.5.
59.5. Upper boundary. Upper boundary. Watch the number.
60.
It's 64.
64.5.
64.5. Okay. All right. Good. Kishon, for the 6th, 7th interval, what's your boundary? Kishon, what's your boundary for your 7th interval? What's the lower boundary? Kishon. Kishon, are you there? Deshaun is there? Deandra. Deandra, what would be the lower boundary?
So
60.5,
64.5,
and the upper boundary?
69.5.
69.5. All right, cool. So this is boundaries. So your boundaries tells you it defines exactly how high you'll go. It defines exactly how high you'll go. And last thing, so we looked at intervals, which is a group. We looked at the limits of each interval, and we call them the limits because they are the end values, the values on the end. And then we looked at the boundaries, exactly how far each interval can reach, how far each interval can reach. And finally for the evening, well, it's two more. I better just do the two more. Because after I do those two, I will give you I'll have to do it over. I'll have to do it over with you. So that, so you have an idea of what is going on. All right. So let's go again. That's clear. Right. Second to last one. We want to look at the class midpoint. Very important. Very, very important, the midpoint. So let's talk about the midpoint. So a midpoint represents your upper and lower boundaries divided by 2. Your upper and lower boundaries divided by 2. So let's write. Let's say so you have 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49, 50 to 54, 55. Now, I have to go this over so you get accustomed to it. All right? All right, so the midpoint, because that's really important. Let's say you have that and you want to get the midpoint. So it will be 34.5 Jedediah, right? Plus your upper boundary, which is 39.5 divided by 2. Is that okay, everybody? So add them up, 34.5 plus 39.5, that will give you 74. And when you divide by 2, you get 37. So the midpoint is 37. All right? Oh, I didn't call for the evening. Whose name? I did not call. Garcia, give me the midpoint for the next interval, 40 to 44. So it will be 39.5 plus 44.5 divided by 2.
So can you repeat?
Midpoint for the second interval,
42.
42. All right. Let's now if you're using, let's say you want to, let's clear this because the answers are right there. So let's say you want to find the histogram. You want to draw a histogram, but for group data. Use midpoint. So this will be on your x-axis. Frequency will still remain. So let's give you one. Let me give you one. 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see if I could get one more. Jada is there still?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Jada, give me the midpoint for the first one.
2.5.
Or the midpoint for the first one. So it will be 0.5 plus 5.5 divided by 2. How much is that?
It's 3, sir.
3, correct. Next person who I did not call, Theodora. Next interval, midpoint for the next interval.
So 10.75.
So it will be 5.5 plus 10.5 divided by 2. Let me just...
So 8.
Yeah, so hi again. Who did I ask this? Theodora. How much you got?
So I say 8.
All right, so sorry about that. I was talking. Deandra, what's the answer for the third one? Deandra,
15.5 plus
10.5 divided by
20.5.
2. How much is that?
Oh, the answer. So 26.
No, 13. 13. Johansi, next one. So it's 15.5 plus 20.5 divided by 2. Johansi,
So 26.
how much?
26.
You're real low. You're real soft. I could hardly hear.
26, sir.
No. Five and 5, 20 and 15 is 35 plus 1, 36. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. 18. Tyrese was here and he gone. Yeah. Yes, hi. Next one.
23.
23. Everybody agree with that?
Yes, sir.
She's right. She's right. Last one. Anybody? Last
28.
last one. Anybody?
28, sir.
28. So these are called midpoints. But as you do it, yeah, you would notice they are increasing by 5. All right. So that should help you with your midpoints. All right. So if you're doing the histogram, you have to change your group data into midpoints to work it. So usually for statistics, we use group data because of the large amount of information that we have. So we use group data. So what I'm going to do, because a lot of students, there's one more class width, which is how many numbers in each group. So I'll do that on Monday because it's already after 6. Right? So this class, this part was recorded. I want you to go it through. When we are doing like the mean and so on, anything with group data, you have to find the midpoint or the average, the midpoint or the average. And that is the number that you're going to use. So it's like you're working you're finding the average of each interval to work with it. All right. You're finding the average of each interval to work with that number. Because you can't work with all 5 numbers or 6 numbers, so you find an average. Everybody okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's it for today, people. I hope go over the YouTube video. It's not much. On Monday, we have to do some of this and the multiple choice. We have to continue the multiple choice. We have to do at least 2 years, and we have to do at least 1 year structured papers. All right, because everybody in the class have to pass math. All right, so that's it for today, everyone. Have a good evening. Look out for the homework and the recording next class. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye, sir.